Hello guys. So today we are going to discuss about the blood and composition of blood and the disorders related to the blood. So let's start with what is blood. So blood is one of the most important component of the life. Almost any animal that possesses a circulatory system has blood. From an evolutionary perspective, blood was speculated to have risen from a type of cell that was responsible for the phagocytosis and nutrition. Billions of years later, blood and the circulatory system have drastically helped the evolution of more complex life form. So, what are the types of the blood cells? We have seen a blood consists of the cell known as form element of the blood. These cells have their own function and roles to play in the body. The blood cells which circulate all around the body are as follows, such as red blood cells, which are also known as the erythrocytes. RBCs are biconcave cells without nucleus in the humans, also known as the erythrocytes. RBC contains the iron-rich protein called hemoglobin. It gives blood its red color. RBCs are the most copious blood cells produced in the bone marrow. Their main function is to transport oxygen from and to various tissues and the organs. So the second one is the white blood cells. They are also called as the leukocytes. Leukocytes are colorless blood cells. They are colorless because it is devoid of the hemoglobin. They are further classified as the granulocytes and organocytes. WBCs mainly contribute to immunity and defense mechanism. So there are some types of the white blood cells. There are five types of the white blood cells and are classified mainly on the basis of the presence and absence of the granules, granulocytes and organocytes. So first one is the granulocytes. They are the leukocytes with the presence of the granules in their cytoplasm. The granulated cells include eosinophil, basophil, and neutrophil. Eosinophils, they are the cells of the leukocytes which are present in the immune system. These cells are responsible for combating infections in parasites of vertebrates and for controlling mechanism associated with allergy and asthma. Eosinophil cells are small granulocytes which are produced in the bone marrow and makes 2 to 3% of whole WBCs. These cells are present in the high concentration in the digestive tract. Basophils. They are the least common of the granulocytes, ranging from 0.5 to 1% of WBCs. They contain the large cytoplasm granules, which plays a vital role in mounting a non-specific immune response to the pathogens and allergic reaction released by histamine and dilating the blood vessels. Then comes the neutrophils. They are normally found in the bloodstream. They are predominant cell which are present in the pus. Around 60 to 65% of the WBCs are neutrophils with a diameter of 10 to 12 micrometers. The nucleus is 2 to 5 lobed and the cytoplasm has very fine granules. The next one is agranulocytes. They are the leukocytes with the absence of the granules in the cytoplasm. Agranulocytes are further classified into the monocytes and lymphocytes. Monocytes, these cells usually have a large bilobed nucleus with a diameter of 12 to 20 micrometers. The nucleus is generally half moon shaped and or the kidney shaped and it occupies about 6 to 8% of the WBCs. They are the garbage truck of the immune system. And lymphocytes, they play the vital role in producing antibodies. Their size ranges from 8 to 10 micrometers. They are commonly known as the natural killer cells and they play an important role in the body defense. So the next component is the platelets. They are also called as thrombocytes. The platelets are specialized blood cells produced from the bone marrow. Platelets come into the play when there is a bleeding or the hemorrhage. They help in clotting and coagulation of the blood. Platelets help in the coagulation during a cut or the wound. So the composition of the blood. And they are mainly cellular structure in the composition of the blood. When a sample of the blood is spun in the centrifuge machine, they separate into the following constituent: plasma, buffy coat, and erythrocytes. Thus, the blood contains RBC, WBC, platelets, and plasma. So, the plasma, the liquid state of the blood, can be contributed to plasma as it makes up to 55% of the blood. It is pale yellow in color, and when separated, blood plasma consists of the salt, nutrients, water, and enzymes. Blood plasma also contains important protein and other components necessary for the overall health. Hence, the blood plasma transfusion are given to the patient with the liver failure and life-threatening injuries. So, the components of the blood plasma has several protein components. Proteins in the blood plasma are serum globulin, serum albumin, and fibrinogen. So RBCs consist of the hemoglobin, a protein. They are produced by the bone marrow to primarily carry oxygen to the body and carbon dioxide away from it. And white blood cells are responsible for fighting foreign pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi that enters our body. They circulate throughout our body and originate from the bone marrow. And the platelets are the tiny disc-shaped cells that helps regulate the blood flow when any part of the body is damaged, thereby aiding in the fast recovery and through the clotting of the blood. So let's discuss about some of the blood disorders. So first one is an anemia. It is caused by the lack of an iron in the blood, which is integral to the production of the hemoglobin. Anemia is one of the most important common blood disorder. There are different types of anemia listed below. Some of them are the most common types of the anemia and their treatment. The first one is iron deficiency anemia caused by the low iron intake, blood loss during the menstruation, or due to the ulcer or the cancer. It causes extreme fatigue and breathlessness because of the lack of iron prevents the red blood cells from carrying enough oxygen to the lungs. The treatment through the condition can be treated with the iron pills. In the certain cases, blood transfusion would be required. The second one is chronic disease related anemia. So this is the condition seen in the people with the disease such as chronic kidney disease. Treatment is, though it doesn't require treatment normally, in certain cases, injection or the synthesis hormone to stimulate the growth of the red blood cells is prescribed. The next one is pernicious anemia. When the body cannot absorb enough B12 vitamin from the food, it leads to the pernicious anemia. This autoimmune condition is called pernicious because there was no cure to it and it often was a fatal. The treatment is the intake of the high doses of the B12 vitamin in the prescribed treatment for the condition. And the next is the thalassemia. It is the collective name of the group of the inherited blood disorder that are caused by the genetic mutation. The lack of the hemoglobin are key characteristics of the disease, and it prevents oxygen from reaching all parts of the body and hinders the proper functioning of the organ. The symptoms include an enlarged spleen, heart problems, and growth and development of the delay in the children. The treatment thalassemia doesn't always warrant a medication. When complications occur, regulation of blood transfusion is suggested. And the next one is an autoimmune hemolytic anemia. So, autoimmune hemolytic anemia causes the immune system to destroy the red blood cells so quickly that the body cannot replace them in time. This results in having an insufficient number of the red blood cells in the body, causing mild fever, tiredness, headache, dark urine, etc. And the next one is lymphoma. Occurring in the body lymphatic system, lymphoma is the blood cancer. The condition is caused by the white blood cells changing and growing out of control. Two major types of the lymphoma are Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The treatments are the modes of the treatment for the conditions are chemotherapy and radiation. And the next disorder is leukemia. It is the cancer of the blood forming tissues or the different types of the leukemia. Some affect children and other found exclusively in the grown-ups. Symptoms include fatigue, weight loss, and frequent infection. Treatment is chemotherapy and the bone marrow transplant are the prescribed treatment. So these were some of the details about the composition of the blood and the disorders related to the blood. Thank you very much.